You're live, Mr. Chairman.
Recording in progress.
Now I'll click. Call this zoning and planning public hearing to order. Tonight's public hearing is for the public comment on rezoning request identified as docket number CZ 2025-45 through CZ-2025 through 50-53. Council members present tonight from my right are
Benton Blunt, District 19.
Frank Farmer, District 22.
Kurtz McGahee, District 21.
Rick Bradley, District 26.
Alan Mitchell, District 23.
Ennis Fant, District 25.
Gary Collins, 27.
Planning commissioners available to view tonight's live stream of the meeting are Steve Bickle, Chair, Deborah Manning, Frank Hammond, Kevin Keefe, Kenneth Machavich. How you say Kenneth's last name? Makasivac. I'm going to say it 3 times. Makasivac. William Parham, Denise Franklin, John Holland, Janelle Phillips, and James Woods. Also representing county staff are Joshua Hendricks, Draper Carlisle. Nice to meet you, by the way. Todd Bailey and Kinsley Loax. Tonight's hearing was advertised in the Greenville Journal. In addition to the advertisement, public notice signs were posted on the properties and detailed information was available on the internet. In order to properly study all comments and to give them due consideration, the hearing is being recorded as a matter of record. The procedure for hearing each case is as following. Summary information about each case will be presented by the staff. The applicant, his or her representative, and anyone in favor of the rezoning request will be given an opportunity to speak for a combined total of 10 minutes. Those opposing the rezoning request be also given an opportunity to speak for a combined total of 10 minutes. Council will not allow rebuttals from opposing sides. The Greenville County Planning Commission will make a recommendation for each case based on staff analyzing in their regular meeting on July 23rd, 2025. The Planning Commission analyzes and recommending along with the comments made at tonight's public hearing will be discussed by County Council Planning Development Committee August 18, 2025. At that time, the committee will prepare the recommendations to the County Council. Additional written comments by citizens may be submitted to the Planning and Zoning Office. Since passage of the zoning changes will require 3 readings by the County Council, a request may be denied on second reading. Tentative dates for reading for tonight's request are as follows. First reading, July 15th, second reading, September 2nd, and third reading, September 16th of 2025. To assist Greenville County in reducing roadside litter, applicants should remove the public hearing notice signs from their property within the next 5 days. At this time, we'll ask the staff of the Department of Zoning Administration to provide us with instructions regarding tonight's meeting and then present their first case.
Thank you and good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of council. First off, I would like to introduce the gentleman sitting to my left, if you haven't had a chance to meet him yet. This is Draper Carlisle. He is our new planning director. He's been with us for about 3 weeks now, so we're glad to have him, and this is his first public hearing, so just want to introduce him so everybody has a face with the name.
With that said, tonight's public hearing is for informational purposes only and to provide all interested parties an opportunity to speak. No votes or recommendations will be made at this meeting. This meeting is the beginning of an approximately 3-month-long process. Recommendations and votes will be made on the days provided by the chairman. All future meetings are open to the public and you're encouraged to attend. Sign up is not required to speak at tonight's public hearing. In the event the Planning and Development Committee refers a docket back to the Planning Commission for additional public comment, or the Planning Commission recalls a docket, another opportunity will be afforded to speak for those who use the sign-up sheet located in the rear of the room. Please be aware this is only for those persons interested in becoming a party of interest in the event a docket is referred back to or recalled by the Planning Commission for additional public comment. As always, you may submit any letters, petitions, or similar information to the Office of the Zoning Administrator, Clerk to Council, or directly to council members at any time. Todd?
Point of order, Mr. Chairman, real quick, if we could go back and do the invocation.
Yes, Kurt, if you would.
Please bow your heads. Dear God in heaven, bless us with wisdom tonight. Allow us to make the right choices for our community, hear from our community, and how you want us to move forward. And bless us, keep us safe as we move forward in the rest of our week. And we ask all this in Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Thank you. I'm not a pastor, sorry.
Our first docket is CZ-2025-045. The property is located at 10 East Main Street in Taylors. The applicant is Chad Allen Croquette for Revocable 10 East Main Street, Taylor's Land Trust. The .32 acre subject property consists of one parcel and is located approximately .76 miles southwest of the intersection of East Main Street and St. Mark Road and currently contains a vacant dwelling. This is the zoning of the surrounding area. The subject property outlined here is zoned R20. Sorry. Okay, continuing on. The subject property outlined here is zoned R20, Single Family Residential District. The request is for OD Office District. You can also see the surrounding property zones. The applicant states that the proposed land use is a business office. This is a subject site and photos showing the area surrounding the subject site. Mr. Chairman.
All right. Do we have anyone, he or she, representing? Yes, sir. If you're coming up front, give us your name and your address for the record. And tell us what you got going on.
Yeah, Chad Paquette, the trustee for the trust that owns this property. We are planning on doing a additional meeting house to the other property we have that's already zoned OD. We have our real estate meetings and gatherings there, so that's why we're applying for a rezone of it.
All right. Any questions for the applicant?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
So you own the property in pink as we're seeing on the map here?
Correct.
Okay, you're true. So you, do you own, and you're owning this property now and you're applying for the rezoning to make it the same thing?
Correct.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you. Anybody else speak in favor of? Anybody speak in opposition of? Anybody opposition? Seeing none, let's move to the next docket.
Our next docket is CZ-2025-046. The property is located at 125 Terry Road in Fountain Inn. The applicant is Manuel R. Murillo and Anna Lillian Murillo. The 2.39 acre subject property consists of one parcel and is located approximately .46 miles south of the intersection of Terry Road and McKelvey Road and currently contains single-family residential. This is the zoning of the surrounding area. The subject property outlined here is zoned RR3 Rural Residential District. The request is for RR1 Rural Residential District. You can also see the surrounding property zones. The applicant states that the proposed land use is single-family residential. This is a subject site and photos showing the area surrounding the subject site. Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you. Do we have anyone here for representing the owner or the zoning change? Anyone here representing the owner? Anyone at all? Anyone for this zoning? Seeing none, I would ask if anyone opposed to this zoning. If you'll step up, you got 10 minutes. Name and address, please.
Okay, my name is Kyle Gilly. I live on Terry Road. We've been in Greenville County for more than 35 years. We're asking you not to approve this for two reasons. One, Terry Road is 18 feet wide. If you meet oncoming traffic on Terry Road, one of you has to pull over. The second thing is, this area, as your map shows, was zoned RR3 about 7 years ago via the petition method. There were several people who worked very hard for more than 2 years, collected 362 signatures from people who were fed up with development coming out there and clear-cutting farms and putting in cookie-cutter houses. This is out in the country. We're asking you not to approve this for two reasons. Terry Road is 18 feet wide, and the rest of this stuff out here is country. And if you want a peaceful drive, come out there and drive around, so we don't need any more development like this on Terry Road. Thank you.
Anyone else to speak? Yes, ma'am. Name and address for the record, please.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, we
Okay, I'm Carol Gilly. I live at 130 Terry Road, which is just a stone's throw from the property we're talking about. I am opposed to approving the rezoning. They purchased the property as is and should have known that it was zoned RR3. If they claim to have been unaware for any reason that it was not, that is not enough reason to change the zoning. If it were ample reason, then everyone could claim ignorance for any alternative desire or infraction, and all rules and regulations would hold no value. This was zoned RR3 because the landowners, over 70% of the landowners wanted it zoned RR3. And this even included landowners that were not living in the area. It was important enough for them who owned property in the area to keep it rural. Also, if they are allowed to rezone, that would set a precedent that would open a Pandora's box, particularly with the property next door and the developer wanting a cluster development. Ultimately, it would become a domino effect that would collapse our zoning efforts, which, as I mentioned, 70% of the landowners wanted. And county officials recommended zoning, they advised us on zoning, and they helped us accomplish this zoning over those 2 years. Granting workarounds appeases the minority, and most times that minority doesn't even live in the vicinity to experience the drawbacks and the damages. That results in detracting from the quality of an appealing area, and it diminishes good relationships between the county officials and the people they serve. Certain decisions made by the county might seem to affect just a small group of local residents, as that might seem here. But a decision also affects the others who want to come visit the area for its appealing character. And this rural character is what they're coming for in our area. So please deny rezoning of 125 Terry Road. And as you may hear later tonight, a rezoning request for property less than 1/2 mile from here was denied by the council, the P&D committee, and the Planning Commission. And the community is very grateful. So please do likewise with this property and protect the low-density RR3 that the majority of the landowners wanted. Thank you.
All right. My name's Allison Burns. I live at 440 Terry Road. I kind of echo what the Gillies have said. Terry Road is a very rural road. This land was originally zoned RR3 back in 2018 from the original landowners, and I feel like these new owners should have known what the land was zoned prior to purchasing the property. And that several months ago, this committee recommended denial of a 3-acre lot that was up for rezoning request from RR3 to RR1 on Hillside Church Road. And I think that's kind of set the precedent for this area of what the recommendation should be moving forward. I think it speaks volumes that the landowner who isn't here today to speak on why they're choosing to rezone the property kind of speaks volumes to me in the fact that, do they really want to be a part of this community, or are they trying to rezone that so that they can make potential profit in splitting the land and building 2 houses potentially for rentals down the road? Whereas if somebody was going to be a part of the community and they were going to have 2 houses to split their family and be a part of the Terry Road community, I would think that it would be important enough for them to come and speak on that behalf. The surrounding land zoned RR3, and I feel like there's plenty of community members here today that are opposing this rezoning request. So we request that the committee recommend denial to Planning Commission for this rezoning to R1. Thank you.
Anyone else want to speak against? Anyone else? Name and address for the record, please.
Richard Sabo, 210 Terry Shop Road. To Allison's point, I would also point out that the house that is currently there is not being lived in. So that tells me this sounds like a business enterprise and not somebody's wanting to do this for personal use. So if somebody is going to do something like this, they're going to need to be around to live with the results. If they're not going to be here, what do they care about the results? So that's all I had to say.
Thank you. Anyone else speak against? Anyone? All right. We'll move to the next docket.
Our next docket is CZ-2025-047. The property is located at 2056 Highway 418 and Burgess School Road in Pelzer. The applicant is Monty Craig Melanesi and Teresa Ann Melanesi. The 45.64 acre subject property consists of one parcel and is located approximately 0.53 miles northeast of the intersection at Augusta Road or Highway 25 and Highway 418 and currently contains single-family residential and vacant land. This is a zoning of the surrounding area. The subject property outlined here is zoned RR3 Rural Residential District. The request is for RR1 Rural Residential District. You can also see the surrounding property zones. The applicant states that the proposed land use is single-family residential. This is a subject site and photos showing the area surrounding the subject site. Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Someone representing or he or she, if they're here? If you
Yes,
give
I
your
am.
Name and address for the record, please.
Teresa Ann Milanese, 2056 Highway 418, Pelzer, South Carolina, 29669.
If you tell us what you got plans here.
Okay, the reason I want to change the zoning is because other family members and grandchildren would like to build on the land, houses, and some of them can't afford the 3 acres, so they would, like to go to the 1 acre for their homes. I do have the other access off of Burgess School, as you can see, so it isn't like they have to use 418. They can use the Burgess School entrance to get onto the land.
Any questions?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
Are you, so you're not going to subdivide the property, you're just going to allow people to build houses and your family? So all these people, and so eventually you might have 6 families that own the land, the whole parcel as a whole.
Yes.
Why not subdivide?
Pardon?
Why not subdivide and give it to people?
That is the intent, is to subdivide the property. We wouldn't be able to have all the residential on one property. That we only allow one
Right,
house.
well,
yeah.
that's what I was asking. Okay.
Well,
Yeah, the subdivision wasn't mentioned, that's why.
No, I have no one who's interested in subdividing it or anything like that.
Any other questions? Yes, Mr. Mitchell.
I think maybe she needs to get with the planning staff to be clear on what she will be able to do and what she can't do, because I wouldn't want to have this approved as a zoning change, and then she find out that she can't do what she wants to do.
I think what it is we're talking about, was using the same word, but talking about 2 different things. Subdividing the property to be able to have relatives build homes on the property versus selling to someone who's going to do a subdivision on the property to sell it to, open the doors for anybody. I believe would that be a fair statement?
Yes,
Okay.
now, in the future, I mean, way down the road, would it be where you could subdivide it? I mean, it could
You're going to
be.
have to subdivide it to be able to build more houses on the property.
Right, so it would have to go to R1, correct?
It depends on the size of the lots that you want to build. If you want to have 1 acre lots, then yes, it would have to go to R1.
Which is what I'm requesting.
Correct.
Okay.
Any other questions? Seeing none. Thank you, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Anybody here else to speak in favor of this? Anyone here to speak in favor? Seeing none, anyone to speak opposed to this? Yes, sir. Name and address for the record.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Mike McEllier. I live at 340 Burgess School Road. I'm the house on the corner between Burgess School Road and 418. My property does not butt up against this, but my argument would be if it's 48 acres and there's only a handful of family members, each member could also still have 3 acres and still be within the realm of that. What I don't want to see happen is, obviously, at some point in time, land passes hands, and now there's a subdivision right there, right next to our house, in a really good, peaceful area. We already have a lot of traffic going up and down Burgess School Road. There's a lot of traffic on Highway 418, and I just feel that at some point in time, without a guarantee that this would only stay within the family, I see this potentially getting out of control at some point. So that's why I stand opposed to that.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else to speak in opposed? Name and address for the record.
My name's Mike Wernsman. I live at 326 Burgess School Road. And my concern is 418, that's the route the trucks take from 385 to get to 85, and it is packed now. We start putting subdivision. If they had the 3 acres and it was family only, I have no problem with that whatsoever. But down the road, if it goes into acre lots, you could have 48, So I'm opposed to it. The traffic on, anytime there's an accident on 418 or 25, they cut through there, and it's the only route to get you from 25 to 418. So it's heavy enough now. That's the reason I oppose it, is just because of the traffic, and make sure that these, if they were 3 acre lots, I wouldn't have any problem with it. But acre lots, I oppose that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else to speak in opposition? Yes, ma'am. Name and address for the record, please.
My name's Tamara Malclier. I don't know if I'm separate from my husband, but I also live at 340 Burgess School Road. So obviously, he missed a few points I'd like to make. I don't think, in general, those on Burgess School Road, if you've talked to any of the neighbors besides the ones that have showed up, are opposed to, the 418 aspect. It's that little square on Burgess School Road that mostly affects us. We already live on a road that it's right between 418 and 25, and they cut through it, semis. We have cars racing up and down the road. We've already had a shooting off the corner of 418. My husband and I had to put a fence that we could barely afford around our property to keep, people off of our land, people from parking, coming up our driveway thinking it was a cut through. We have dogs. We don't need any more traffic, and that little square there was our biggest fear, is that's going to be a neighborhood. You're going to subdivide it 3 acres to 1 acre in the family to begin with, and a few years later, everybody else in town, and that one little spot would be a great entrance for a pretty little entrance to a subdivision. And we have already been in talk with multiple neighbors about how do we go about requesting just to get speed bumps down our road. And now you're going to introduce potentially 48 new homes, have 48 new people with access that on a road that really just can't sustain it. That's kind of why I want to say we're opposed to it, or at least, that one little section is, like I said, our main concern. Right there on Burgess School Road, we can't afford the traffic. We don't have the resources. No offense to the county, but as we learned in the storm, y'all don't service our road. We're a state road. It's already hard enough to get people out to help us when we do have problems on our road. And now we're going to have 48 times the problems. That's how I see it. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other speakers against? Any other speakers? Seeing none, we'll move to the next zoning, next docket.
Our next docket is CZ-2025-048. The property is located at 145 Chapman Grove Road in Pelzer. The applicants are Jessica O. Gates and Michael A. Gates. The 10.68 acre subject property consists of one parcel and is located approximately 0.8 miles southwest of the intersection of Dunkland Bridge Road and McKelvey Road, and currently contains a single-family residence and farm. This is a zoning of the surrounding area. The subject property outlined here is zoned RR3 Rural Residential District. The request is for AG Agricultural Preservation District. You can also see the surrounding property zones. The applicant states that the proposed land use is agritourism and a farm stand. This is a subject site and photos showing the area surrounding the subject site. Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. We have someone representing or on behalf of the zoning change.
Hello.
Name and address for the record.
I'm Jessica Gates. The address is 145 Chapman Grove Road. So we've been running a flower farm at this location for the past 6 years. It's Harvest Moon Farm and Flower. And we were recently awarded funding from USDA for agritourism, farm stand, addition to the operation. But upon researching our zoning, we found that farm stands and some agritourism operations are not permitted. So that's the main reason we're seeking a change from RR3 to ag. We believe it fits with the character of the community, which is made up of small farms and small farm businesses. Our farm is located within a mile of Happy Cow Creamery, Cityscape Winery, Pine Grove Farm, JBO Ranch, and BioWay farms all operate farm stands and agritourism operations. And so we're here today to ask for a zoning change so we can grow our family farm, provide an agritourism experience to the community. We think we'll enhance it and bring people out to a space where they can enjoy a working farm, unplug, and gather with friends and family.
Any questions for applicant? Thank you. Do we have anyone to speak in behalf of this ordinance, this zoning? Anyone in behalf? Seeing none, anybody opposed? Do we have anybody speak opposing this? Seeing none, we'll move to the next docket.
The next docket is CZ-2025-049. Property is located at 12 Carr Road and Clearview Drive in Piedmont. The applicant is Eric Christian Baldwin of Christopher Homes for Thomas Milford Riddle and Douglas Dean Riddle Jr. The 13.83 acre subject property consists of one parcel and is located approximately 0.55 miles southeast of the intersection of Blakely Avenue and Augusta Road, Highway 25 South, and currently contains agricultural and vacant land. This is the zoning of the surrounding area. Subject property outlined here is zoned RS, Residential Suburban District. The request is for R15, Single Family Residential District. You can also see the surrounding property zones. The applicant states that the proposed land use is Single Family Residential. This is the subject site and photos showing the area surrounding the subject site. Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Is the applicant or his or her representative here? Name and address for the record, please.
Brian Roberts, 220 North Main Street, representing Christopher Homes.
Can you kind of tell us what we're looking at?
So we are wanting to rezone this piece of to do a medium density, not anywhere in the size of that across the street, the Great Southern Home neighborhood there. We are trying to do less than 20 homes on this property. On the backside where you see the cul-de-sac coming in, that's going to be open space. So it's going to be more farm acre lots. We just wanted to rezone it to R15 to be able to fit the septics in and the sizes that we would be putting on the house, the land.
Any questions for applicant? Dr. Pam?
Yes, sir. The gentleman across the street that owns the 6 lots, he's having the water run up there. You familiar with that, right?
Yep.
What about the sewer? You know, it's at the other subdivision. Are you going to use septic, or you going to run sewer up to you?
So we are going to do septic on these lots. We have the access to do the sewer. We can get it ran up the backside of it. But because that creek is wetlands, we have to be 50 feet off of it. So for us to zone it at the R15, it makes more sense for us to be able to make bigger lots.
Right.
And put the septic on it. And it's very expensive, as you know, to run sewer.
Oh, I know. I was like, there is no sewer there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on the backside of that, right where you kind of see the little square where the plant is there.
Yeah.
That's where it stops at.
Okay.
Any other questions? All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Do we have anyone to speak in behalf of this ordinance, zoning, in behalf of it?
Opposition?
For it? Anyone else speak in behalf? All right. Seeing none, anyone opposed? Now. Name and address for the record, please.
I'm Rhonda Eaton. My husband is Bert Eaton. He's here. We're here to oppose the proposed subdivision, which is right next to our house. We're both retired from Greenville County, and we've lived on 361 Clearview Drive for almost 25 years. We're here to oppose the rezoning for not just us, but our other 3 neighbors, and I'm representing them tonight. They couldn't come. We're proud owners of our home on 4 acres. As I said, it's 361 Clearview Drive. We moved here almost 25 years ago from a busy subdivision in Simpsonville. We chose this house and property because it was in the country and on a cul-de-sac. Then we found out it would be near my husband's job and that we would have 2 Christian families that lived on that road. Our little street is very tiny. The neighbor across the street from us, they've passed away. They were elderly, and they were the only resident there for like 50 years. They sold the house to a couple now that's been there like 4 years, and they've got 2 small children that are twins. They're 3 years old. And they play all around the area. They ride their tricycles down to the cul-de-sac. And it's just been an easy life there. The other people that live on this, there's only 4 families that live on this street because it's so small. We own 4 acres. The neighbor across the street owns, I think, 2.5. The next neighbor owns an acre, and the other one owns an acre. One of the other 3 families has lived there over 25 years. Our neighbors share the same feelings. And I'm going to get a little personal, and it's down to earth. It's not nothing professional like you would think you'd have at a meeting like this. We're used to flocks of turkeys that frequent our property seasonally. Many deer families visit our yard and feed off the crabapple tree in our backyard. Raccoons, skunks, opossums, and groundhogs grace our property at various times. And not to mention the various bird species that bring us joy throughout the day, all of them with their brilliant colors and melodious singing. But most importantly, living on a cul-de-sac affords our family and our neighbors peace, tranquility, and quietness. We can work in our yards and sit on our porch or back patio without the noise of traffic. Our quiet little street has been a place where our grandkids and neighbors' kids and grandkids can ride their bikes safely. It's also a place where my husband and I and our neighbors regularly take walks each evening for leisure and exercise with no fear of traffic or people walking up and down the roads. All of these reasons is why we have chose to live here.
We're all building a legacy and heritage for our kids and grandkids so that when we're gone, they can have a home place to live or to visit and can come back to and reflect on treasured memories. This whole concept is stability. We don't want to have to move. And with the proposed subdivision coming in, all of our lives will change. With all the traffic, noise, and people, and the wildlife will disappear. We don't want this to happen. And with living near the end of the cul-de-sac, there's a possibility that they would use that cul-de-sac as an entrance or an exit to get into that land, which is right behind, the cul-de-sac. And in doing that, it's going to increase traffic and people walking up and down the roads. We just want everything to remain. I know things change, and we just have so much growth in Greenville, and there's just too many houses and subdivisions coming in and taking over property and messing up the ecosystem. The 13-acre property that we're discussing right now has mostly always been a horse pasture. And when we moved there were, the people were leasing the land for people to board their horses. We were hoping that when the property was put up for sale, that it could stay in that state. There's other uses that it could be used for other than a subdivision. The area just doesn't need any more subdivisions. And we respectfully hope that you will agree and sympathize with our concerns and keep the property to remain in the same status that it is, because we just feel like that it's just going to really mess up our family life. The family across the street with the two 3-year-old children, they've been there 4 years. They deeded an acre next door to them for her dad to build a house so he could enjoy his grandkids. He didn't expect this either. He's working tonight and couldn't come. So we're all family out there. We walk up and down the road, and we just treasure the area, and it just makes me sick at my stomach to think that there's a change coming that we just opposed to. So thank you so much.
Thank you. We still have time. We have 4 minutes if anybody wants to speak against. Anyone else? Okay, seeing none, we'll move to the next docket.
Next docket is CZ-2025-050. The property is located on Agnew Road and Richards Avenue in Greenville. The applicant is Jonathan Nett of Civil SD LLC for Las Cruces Investments LLC. The 12.45 acre subject property consists of one parcel and is located approximately 0.8 miles north of the intersection of White Horse Road, Highway 25, and West Blue Ridge Drive, Highway 253, and currently contains vacant land. This is the zoning of the surrounding area. Subject property outlined here is zoned RMHP, Residential Manufactured Home Park District. The request is for R6, Single Family Residential District. You can also see the surrounding property zones. The applicant states that the proposed land use is single-family residential. This is the subject site and photos showing the area surrounding the subject site. Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Is the applicant or his or her rep here?
My name is Jonathan Nett, 935 Tanner Road, Greenville. I'll be the civil engineer that's working on this site. This is a site that was submitted for rezoning a couple months ago for RM8. And the feedback, it was denied, and the feedback we got was that townhomes are just not going to work in this area. Totally understand that, get that, so we're submitting for R6. I worked with my client on a new concept plan that would be about 50 single-family homes. And I think there's some comments about the church that's next door. I did check on that. The pastor, it is an active church. They do have service on Wednesday and Sunday. So we're going to work with them possibly in any capacity we can to provide access to our site and whatnot. Just here to answer any questions you all might have. We checked on sewer and water. We have capacity for both of those. Thank you.
All right. Any questions? All right. Seeing none. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Anyone else here to speak in favor of this applicant? Seeing none, anybody to speak opposed to this? Anyone? All right. Seeing none, we'll move to the next docket.
The next docket is CZ-2025-051. Property is located at 3019, 3021, 3035, and 3085 Highway 14 in Greer. The applicant is Larry Barthélemy of ADC Engineering, Inc. for Highway 14 Cars LLC and AGWG 3085 Holdings LLC. The 13.67 acre subject property consists of 3 parcels and is located approximately 0.21 miles northeast of the interchange at Batesville-Pelham Road, and Highway 14 currently contains single-family residential and vacant land. This is the zoning of the surrounding area. Subject property outlined here is zoned RS, Residential Suburban District. The request is for S1 Services District. You can also see the surrounding property zones. The applicant states that the proposed land use is private recreation with automotive storage. This is the subject site and photos showing the area surrounding the subject site. Mr. Chairman.
Is the applicant or his or her representative here? If so, come on up and give us your name and address.
Hello, my name is Bennett Bauer. I'm at 102 High Plains Road in Simpsonville. We are hoping to build a car storage and motorsports club on this property, and so this will be for motorsports enthusiasts to store their vehicle or enjoy a clubhouse-style lounge. We believe that the rezoning to S1 is reasonable with the surrounding use and the fact that we're on the busy Highway 14 there, and yes, so we hope that you will consider our proposal to rezone to S1.
Any questions for the applicant?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Bauer, are you the owner of the LLCs?
I'm the manager of Highway 14 Cars, and the owner's also here, yes.
Okay, so the owner's here, and AGWG as well? Are they owned by the same person?
That owner is also here, yes.
Okay, they own all that. Okay, I'd like to speak with you guys after the meeting, if you would.
Sure,
It's in my district.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you, sir. Anyone in favor, speak in favor? Name and address for the record, sir.
Yeah, good evening. My name's Bill Graham. I live at 6 Bratton Road in Greenville, 29615. I'm the owner of AGWG. I'm currently part owner with a couple partners of a company called Thunder Bunny LLC. We're located at 500 Hartness in Greenville. We lease that space. We've been in business for 3.5 years, employ 18 people. In automotive services, we primarily work on race cars and then also store vehicles for customers. And I intend to move the business there, and together with the other party here is to create kind of an automotive centric location in Greenville that will attract people who are interested in automotive racing and sports cars. Obviously no driving of them there other than Highway 14, which I believe now has over 20,000 per day traffic count. And so it's a good place for automotive service, and I want to keep my business and our employees in Greenville. And the building we lease from is intended to be redeveloped at some point in the future. Thank you.
Anyone else speak in favor? Seeing none, any to speak opposed? Any? Seeing none, we'll move to the next docket.
The next docket is CZ-2025-052. Property is located at 395 Conisty Road, 2nd Avenue, and 3rd Street in Greenville. The applicant is Sankat Modi for Modi 87 Inc. The 0.5 acre subject property consists of a portion of one parcel and is located approximately 0.54 miles east of the roundabout interchange of Fork Shoals Road and Conisty Road. It currently contains a self-service laundromat and a gas station with retail. This is the zoning of the surrounding area. Subject property outlined here is zoned C1 Commercial District and RMA Multifamily Residential District. The request is for C2 Commercial District. You can also see the surrounding property zones. The applicant states that the proposed land use is retail or ABC liquor sales. This is the subject site and photos showing the area surrounding the subject site. Mr. Chairman.
Yes, is the applicant or his or her rep here? See anyone speak in favor? Anyone? All right, seeing none. Anyone to speak opposing? Name and address for the record, sir.
My name is Robert Neal. I'm at 835 Second Avenue. We got a late start on this. We only got 258 signatures on our petition to keep this from happening. The signs got pulled down from the store, and we didn't know exactly what was going on. Without the owner of the store being here for him telling us his purpose, we just have to go by what we have been told. They want to put a liquor store in our backyard, and we don't want it. Took about a week to get these signatures. That's almost one signature per household in Conisty. Let's look at the track record of the current store owner now. The existing store is one of the dirtiest, nastiest, poor-kept stores in Greenville County. Trees growing out of the back of it, roof falling off. They redid the pumps 2 or 3 years ago, and they've just been sitting out in the back. Overlooking, my property overlooks the back side of this. In our petition, every little town has a town alcoholic. Ours does. He was the first one to sign the petition. He even knows it's a bad idea. I hope you guys squash this real quick. He's also asking to rezone a residential lot with houses around it, which will be 6th Street and 2nd Avenue, that overlooks all the other residential lots. It just makes no sense whatsoever. Our community can't hold that, and it shouldn't have to. Conisty, Ms. Siemens noted I've fought to get this community rolling. And Conisty's on the edge of real transformation. In 2 months, our dam's going to be done. After that, the construction on the historical mill is going to be brought in with the condos and the retail going in there. Across Reedy River, we have the subdivision going with $900,000 houses. So why would we throw the momentum away by approving a liquor store there? Something we know brings drug activity, lottery, and even prostitution. This is not exaggeration. If you don't believe me, go down on Augusta Road at Crackin' Jack's down there and look around, and you can see what happens there, and the county can't control it. It's so bad. And the final statement I have is, when's the last time you rode by and said, man, that's a good-looking liquor store? It just don't happen. So let's not let one bad decision undo everything we worked so hard to go by. I have pictures of inside the store with crack pipes next to chocolate donuts. You know, a man that does that, his moral character is in question to me all the way around.
Do you have a copy of the petition?
Yes, sir. I have it right here.
Can you give it to?
Yep.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, ma'am.
question for staff.
You had a picture of that, buddy.
Have we had any code violations at this location that we know of?
I'm not sure of that. I could look and get back with you.
Thank you, that would be great. And Mr. Neal, thank you so much. I did share your message with my colleagues earlier today.
Thank you.
So thank you very much.
I think we've got one other one, the guy that lives directly behind.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, real quick. Staff, could you go back to the slide that shows the existing zoning and answer a question for me, please? So if he already has C2 for part of the property, and it looks like the building, I drive by there, I work at Donaldson, so I drive by this building almost every day. What is stopping them from doing a liquor store now on C2?
Nothing. The liquor store could be built on the C2 portion of that property today.
It could?
Yes.
Okay, so essentially,
What the request is essentially is to take the split zone property and make it all C2, and so then it's not limited to where
the
that
store can
activity-
go.
Correct, yeah,
So eventually they'd have to make the store fit on all the C2.
that's correct.
Okay.
And all the activity too. So whenever we look at whenever we look at zoning, if a use is not permitted on an adjacent property or a shared property that's split zone, none of that activity can go through that other zone. as
Oh, so
well.
no, they couldn't have parking on the C1 portion or anything?
Not, now, if they had overflow, that's one thing, but they could not use the C1 portion to meet the minimum requirements of the parking
Oh,
for a use that's not permitted.
Awesome. There you go. Thank you for that.
Could I say one more thing? The C1 is on the laundromat side. That is one of his options, is change that laundromat to a liquor store. Very inexpensive for him, very easy for him to do, or go to that back residential lot and create it there. We, even if y'all passed it, we're not gonna stop here. We're not gonna allow that in our neighborhood. Thank you.
Anyone else speak against?
I'm Ted Trueblood. I live at 815 Second Avenue. I live right behind the store. I sit out on my back porch and I watch so many drug deals on the left-hand side. People bring their cars in there, back them in there, and you watch them unload their dope and everything in there. I have to go out in the mornings and in the afternoons. I have a chain anchor fence around my house. I pick up all the trash that is blowed from that store. And we don't need no liquor store. We have 6 churches in Coniston, and that's the least we need is a liquor store. That's it.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else to speak? We still got time? Oh, yeah, we have plenty. We still got 5 minutes.
My name is Jerry Neal. I live at 835 Second Avenue. Robert is my husband. I live on the street down at the bottom. We have 3 pieces of property on that road. Where they want to put the liquor store is on our road. There are 6 houses on our road. I don't think it's feasible for the traffic. And we know eventually that, the mill is going to change into something different. We're going to wait and see if we can get something better than a liquor store, because we already have problems with our community anyway. So if you would look at that. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else to speak? Anyone? Seeing none, let's move to the next docket.
The next docket is CZ 2025-053, which is to amend Article 4 definitions, Article 6, Table 6.1, uses permitted, uses by special exception, and conditional uses, and Article 8, Section 8.5, ESDPM, Environmentally Sensitive District, Paris Mountain of the Greenville County Zoning Ordinance. Shown in red is a proposed change to the current wording of Section 851 intent. The current wording is shown in red and struck through. Here we see uses specified in Table 6.1, which are currently allowed in the ESDPM zoning classification. These would be removed from being allowed in that district. We also see a change to Section 853, which would create a new dimensional standards table for the district. Shown in red struck through is the current language of Section 855 density. The amendment would remove density based on transfer of development rights and set a limit of 1 unit per acre. A new section, 8510, tree save and tree preservation, is proposed, which would place restrictions on clearing of trees on properties. Another new section, 8511, would place new requirements on lighting. Third new section is proposed, 8512, short-term rentals, which would place restrictions on short-term rentals and guest parking. And shown in red and struck through is the current language of Section 859, transfer of development rights. The proposed amendment renames the section to special provisions and would remove the use of TDRs and create a buffer area for certain properties. And then lastly, new definitions are proposed to be added to Article 4 definitions. These are related to other changes within these series of amendments. So, Mr. Chairman, as you can see, this is a series of amendments. I didn't want to read through them all verbatim, but you all have been provided a copy of that amendment document if you have questions.
Any questions for the staff? Any? Do we have anyone in the audience to speak in favor? Emily Poole, give your name and address for the record, please.
My name is Emily Poole. I live at 26 Tyrion Drive. I'm the upstate staff attorney at the South Carolina Environmental Law Project. SCELP is a nonprofit public interest law firm, and our mission is to use legal expertise to protect land, water, and communities throughout South Carolina. I'm here to share my support for item 5I on tonight's docket, which are zoning text amendments to the Environmentally Sensitive District Paris Mountain, or ESDPM. Before I say anything else, let me begin by thanking each of you for your willingness to enact stronger protections for Paris Mountain. Because Paris Mountain is one of Greenville County's most precious and iconic places, we know that we must do everything we can to shield the mountain from dangerous development and environmental degradation. Strengthening the provisions of the ESDPM zoning district is one of the most comprehensive ways that we can preserve this unique landscape and ecosystem from harm. From the creation to the ESDPM zoning district in the 1980s to the resolution you all passed unanimously earlier this year opposing annexation of part of the mountain for a harmful development project, Greenville County Council has been an important partner to protecting Paris Mountain for generations to come. These collective efforts preserve unique and diverse flora and fauna and the patchwork of habitats that weave through the mountain slopes. These efforts also protect streams, including Reedy River headwaters, that are particularly vulnerable to pollution that would also flow downstream. Creating an even more robust ESDPM zoning district is the next step we can take to combat habitat disruption, impaired water quality, and disturbance of the mountain's ecological balance. Before I conclude, I do want to note that there are two sets of proposed amendments to the ESDPM that are moving through the County Council process. One was before some of you an hour ago at the Planning and Development Committee meeting, and the other is here at the zoning public hearing tonight. This appears to be due to different versions of the ESDPM amendments being introduced at different times, and I understand that these two versions may be merged together at some point. Whatever the case may be, I would like to emphasize my support for the more robust changes to the ESDPM that are on this hearing's agenda tonight. We are working diligently with staff and the Attorney's Office to make even more comprehensive edits to the ESDPM, so we ask for your support of this agenda item as well as any subsequent amendments proposed by staff. Together, we can better protect Paris Mountain's sensitive environment for all who cherish it. I urge you all to support the robust set of amendments to the ESDPM zoning district as it moves through Council's process in the weeks to come. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else to speak in favor of?
Hello, I'm Tommy Reese. I live at 18 Chestnut Ridge Road on Paris Mountain, as you might notice here. I'm here to thank you first for your attention to putting some real strength into the ESDPM zoning. We all agree that the ESDPM needs to be improved to provide significant environmental protection for this unique environmentally sensitive area. The recently proposed hotel gave us one more glaring example, and if there was a silver lining in that process, I think it's that all of our residents and concerned community citizens as well as you, local government officials, became much more aware and may be primed to act proactively now for the longer term. And we need to take advantage of this momentum, hence this proposal before you tonight. Let me give you just a little background, because we didn't jump up to do this just after this hotel proposal came up. Several of us, and a number of people on and off the team, have been working for over 2 years now, trying to improve the ESDPM. We've worked with staff, they've been wonderful and helpful, and we've come to agree on most of these things and support it. We've talked with citizens, we've looked at documents from other communities, we've reviewed the UDO and other county ordinances, we looked at the wildfire mitigation plan, we reviewed the open space plan, the tree canopy assessment, and the comprehensive plan, and tried to put all of this together as best we could and find the best things from what we needed to do with best practices. With the recent urgency, we submitted our robust recommendation, and we very much appreciate Chairman Blunt's bringing that proposal to council. In the effort to move expeditiously, most, but not all, I'm afraid, of our recommendations are included. We understand and agree with most of those differences, but there are a few more things that we really think we can iron out. As Chairman Blunt said earlier, and as Emily Poole just said, as we work through the process, we hope that you will be amenable to further amendments in the near future. Again, thank you for tackling this with us. We certainly hope you will support this evening and then be open to a bit more further discussion as we work through the committee process. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else speak in favor of? Name and address for the record, sir.
I'm Greg Valente, and I live at 829 Altamont Road. At the risk of being repetitive, I'm going to be saying some of the same things. We all do really appreciate everything you've done for us since the beginning of the year. So thank you for that. I want to thank your staff too, because over the course of the past 2 years, we've had an opportunity to get together with Josh Henderson in particular. He's been very helpful and explained a lot of the nuances that we certainly didn't know with regards to zoning and planning, and it's been very helpful. The last time I appeared here, I told you about a grassroots effort started in the late 1970s by a group of Paris Mountain residents who wanted to protect Paris Mountain from overdevelopment, but who were advocates of continued growth in the form of single-family homes. That effort had the full support of the then County Council, and it resulted in the designation of what's called the Altamont Corridor and the creation in 1982 of the Environmentally Sensitive District for Paris Mountain, or the ESDPM as we now know it. 2 years ago, residents of Paris Mountain started another homegrown effort, one that will strengthen protections for the ESDPM and preserve its character, with particular attention to things that have already scarred it, like clear cutting, and to preventing things that could scar it, like wildfires, and to put focus on the continued safety concerns we have along Altamont Road. The text amendment before you today is the result of that 2-year effort, and we're here to ask for your support again in what would be the first wholesale change to the ESDPM in a generation. There's still more work to be done, and we're willing to do that work, but this is a tremendous first step and an opportunity to make a difference for Paris Mountain for future generations. So we appreciate your consideration of this text amendment and ask for your support to see it through to final adoption. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other to speak in favor? Any to speak against? You in favor?
Yes.
Okay. Name and address for the record, please.
I just, again.
Name and address for the record, please.
David Anderson, 57 Altamont Terrace Lane on the west side of the mountain.
Thank you.
Just want to express my gratitude for the support that I've seen over the past year and several months for the revisions to the confusing and loophole type language that was included. That was an amazing effort. Thank you very much, and just want to urge you to support this more robust text amendment, which fortifies the unique ESD PM zoning classification, which is intended to protect Paris Mountain as one of Greenville's most unique and environmentally sensitive resources. Thank you for your support.
Thank you. Anyone else? Do I have one opposing? I see none. I think Councilman Kay has a
Mr. Chairman,
question for the staff.
for staff, on the front page of your ordinance there, section 2, the amendment, the permitted uses, dwelling zero lot line, then conditional uses. Why would, if we're trying to maintain a environmentally sensitive district, and basically what we're trying to say is nothing else but a single-family home on a large lot, why would we allow storage units? Why would we even put that in there and open that door?
So, just to clarify, so under that section, these would be uses that are currently allowed in ESDPM that would be removed from being
Okay, so
allowed.
those are being removed.
Is the understanding?
But
But
it's
I
not
believe-
redlined through, that's why I'm asking.
I'm sorry, pardon?
Well, it looks like you're adding it to it. It's not redlined through, that's why are you removing it?
No, yeah, so if you read the Section 2 amendment text, by removing certain permitted uses.
Okay, so you're removing that.
And just for the record, storage units, that, what that's referring to, it's not referring to commercial storage
Okay,
units.
so you're referring to
That's
like
for
a-
pods. Yeah, things that someone might need to, if they're
I
renovating a
got you.
house.
If they're
something.
moved, okay.
We do have conditions on the length of time someone can have something
Okay,
like
and
that.
so you're also, that's perfect then. So on the next page, uses by special exception, you're also removing church, government facilities, public utility, school, primary, secondary, special event facility. That's being removed, correct?
I think there was some misunderstanding between what was submitted and staff once this ordinance was drafted and provided to you. There is a upcoming meeting this week that we're having, I think like Emily said, to kind of hash out some of this stuff. So I think that could be changing, because I think there was maybe some misunderstanding
Yeah, that,
to that. So I think their intent was not to remove some of the stuff, and we took it the way it was written as to remove it. So-
Well, that, to me, I would want that removed. I mean, that's to go over what I think the intent of this ordinance is to get rid of stuff like that. So, okay.
We're getting with them this week to make sure that we have a clear understanding on what this language is supposed to be on the uses that are and are not permitted.
Okay, thank you.
I have a quick question. We had CZ 44 tonight that we put on hold. That would go away, would it not? Is it still going to be relevant to the?
It would depend on what the
If this
Planning Development
passes,
Committee.
we wouldn't need this, correct?
So right now, you've got two things that have differing language. So, I mean, you kind of, I think that's why that one was held, was to be able to look at this instead. So if that is the case and you don't want to move that one forward, you can request one, it could be a request to deny it for moving forward, or the person who proposed it could withdraw that text amendment.
Sorry, Mr. Chairman, just for my clarification, because I'm not on the Planning and Development Committee, who proposed the other one, knowing that we already had this one in motion?
If I'm not mistaken, I think it was Councilman Shaw.
I don't think he did it after. I think his was actually the first.
Okay, well, and just perhaps maybe we need some cleanup between all the things. Okay, thank you for the clarification.
So where did this one come from if the other one's there as well?
I was handed this, I think, Councilman Blunt, I think that.
You did it? Well, would there be an objection, or is there something right? I don't know. Could we merge and take both of them, put them together, and just have one versus?
I think that was kind of the intent of holding it in P&D, was so we could catch them up and then merge them together. Because I think some of the language of the other one is not present in this one, so we're
Right,
going to combine those.
the other one that you saw at P&D was just for Section 851, which is the intent. Some of that language that's in there is in this, and some of the language that's in this is not in that, so it would, that would be the intent of that.
Another question for clarification. So if that is the case, then, and would it constitute substantial changes, so it would need to come back to a public hearing?
That could be requested.
I mean, I just want to make sure that we're staying transparent to the citizens in terms of, I don't want to slow it down, but I just want to make sure, that we should make sure there's plenty of public comment, especially if we merge two versions of something.
That there is an opportunity, like I stated at the beginning, for if anything is requested to be sent back to public hearing or to the planning commission for additional public comment, that can be done then as well.
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions? Hearing none.
Motion to adjourn?
All in favor?
Aye.
Adjourned.
Recording stopped.